So I'm the Director of Client Solutions at AT&T. We have built a team that focuses on expertise across industry verticals, trying to give both clients and agencies an understanding of what types of strategies are working best within the space. We obviously get a lot of insights on our end, and we try to work with the teams across the board to try to make each campaign better.
Yeah, so that's a good jumping off point. One of the themes, obviously, that we'll be spending a lot of time on is broadly advanced TV, but even more specifically within that window is the idea of addressable linear television. That's, I know, a lot of what you guys at AdWorks are working on and really moving the market on. I know it's become an ever more increasingly hot product for you guys. Talk about really where you're seeing that gather interest. Why are people turning to addressable television? I think we just heard a little bit of an example in a financial services category. Maybe slightly more broadly, or other examples. Where are you seeing there really being interest in this type of opportunity?
Well, I think that advertisers more and more, obviously everyone's looking for to be more targeted and to be more accountable within the TV space. If you look across certain industries, obviously, in the auto industry, for example, at any one time, only less than 10% of people are in the market for an automobile. If you look in the financial space, if you're looking for a more affluent person, it's only a small percentage of the population. So these types of advertisers are looking for something more targeted on the front end, which we can offer. But I think one of the more exciting things about addressability is the accountability on the back end. So if you look, from an auto perspective, we can understand of your target how many of those households actually move forward with a purchase, both from the specific brand level or if they move forward with a competitor. From a financial standpoint, we can understand if the advertiser not only was acquired, so a new account was acquired, but also if they actually funded that account. So if you open up a brokerage account, for example, that's great. That's a great acquisition for that company. But if they never actually fund that account, that financial institution never makes any money off that customer. So we can understand both the acquisitions and the funding part of it.
So when you're working with the brands and agencies that you work with, how are you seeing them plan for addressable? Where does that come into play? As they think about how they allocate budget between a more traditional television schedule, more linear model, or just national digital video even potential, where is addressable fit for them? Why does it come into play? As you say, at the end of the day, it is more measurable and targetable. Somehow, though, the budgets have got to kind of switch hands. And are there some key indicators of when addressable is the right opportunity?
Well, I think that what we're seeing more people use addressable for is increased frequency against those most likely to convert. So I think that there's the overarching brand message is one that is very important. But to take a portion of your TV budget or even your direct mail budget, for example, and put that towards addressability and let that money work harder for you in a more accountable way, that's what we're trying to bring to the industry.
So second time already that the idea of a comparison between addressable television and direct mail have come up, which I think makes a lot of sense. At the end of the day, it's just a different vehicle. You mentioned that sometimes you're pulling budgets from people that are otherwise using that money for direct mail. Is that common?
It's a real thing. It's something we're seeing more and more of, especially within certain industries. So if you look, for example, in the credit card space, these financial companies have to stay compliant with fair lending, and the direct mail list is a compliant list that can be easily applied to addressable households in the same manner, because direct mail is based on name and address, and addressability is also based on name and address. So it's really a seamless way to take those same segments and move it to TV. And on top of that, what we're seeing advertisers do is see how direct mail and addressable TV are working together. So you can understand if you're doing direct mail for X amount of weeks, see what kind of lift you're getting, then do addressable for X amount, then see the lift, then do them both, see the lift. So again, it goes back to the accountability, and I think that mix is probably different for every advertiser, but the back end allows you to do those analysis on your own.
On that point, are you seeing, is it make sense to do both? And does it make sense to do direct mail first and then follow up with addressable, or the other way? Are you guys tracking that?
On our end, we only, frankly, we only see one part of it. We see the lift from our, but I will say that we're seeing more and more advertisers bring the direct mail lists into play, and I think that the fact that advertisers are coming back again and again with that strategy is showing that it's working.
Yeah. So the usual categories in addressable are, you've mentioned them: auto, FinServe, other categories where metrics and measurement can be more granularly measured, or more directly measured is really a better way of saying it. Not more granular, but more direct impact. But there's a lot of talk that that's not all that is happening in addressable, that more traditional CPG type marketers are also taking advantage of that. And you said earlier, I thought was interesting, that there's an opportunity to really increase frequency against a desired audience. Is that connected to where you see a lot of the CPG types of marketers using addressable? Yeah,
I mean, I think that if you looked at this 4 years ago when AT&T launched the addressable product, I think that we would have thought CPG would not be a major player, but if you look at the numbers, it actually is. I think that relationships with companies like Nielsen Catalina are allowing us to build segmentation on the front end, and again understand the measurement and how it's really driving sales on the back end. Something that every advertiser is looking for, and is hard for a lot of times for advertisers to measure within certain categories.
So take this out of the traditional set-top box, model of television and into more of a digital video cross-screen world. I know it's something you guys are spending a lot of time on. How are you guys connecting the dots so that whether it's delivered through you guys as an MVPD or a more digital distribution point, how are you making the idea of addressable connect across all those screens?
Yeah, I think the CrossGreen is a huge part of AT&T moving forward. Obviously, through the acquisition of DirecTV, AT&T became the largest pay TV provider in the country, but obviously the company was built on a very successful mobile business, and what we're trying to do is connect those dots between the 25 million plus subscribers that we have from a television standpoint, and then the 150, or I guess 100 million plus screens, whether it be a tablet or a phone, in addition to that. So I think that what you're seeing from AT&T is we're building out products, not only enhancing TV everywhere, but this in Q4 you're going to see that we're launching a new product called DirecTV Now, which is a over-the-top platform, which is going to offer some very exciting opportunities from an advertising standpoint. And I think the ultimate goal is to connect the dots between all of these, right? Reach the individual, whether they're in the living room watching television in their home, or that same individual when they're on the road. And AT&T's structure is very well suited to do that.
It sounds like you're not yet selling those things together today. Is that right?
No, we are. We have launched a cross-screen product. We launched it this year. And we've had great success.
And you measure both based on direct targeted to specific households. So whether it's my phone or my cable box, you're making sure that it's addressed to me.
Yes, so we're able to use a lot of the same segmentation that you're using in the mobile space and apply it to the addressable space. On the back end, we'll show where the acquisitions or the success is coming from, right? So did this household see just an addressable TV spot? Did they see just a mobile spot? Did they see addressable and a mobile spot? Yeah. So it gives you a lot of insight into how your media is working together.
What does that correlation do? Is similar to where you think about direct mail and addressable TV as complements potentially? What are you guys seeing in terms of addressable and mobile delivery?
The early results have shown what we thought and hoped they would show, that addressable and mobile together are driving the most acquisitions. I think it's early. I think time will tell. But I think from a marketing standpoint, that's the holy grail of where we're trying to move, is understanding how all your media is working together, and that's what we're trying to do with the products that we're moving forward with.
What is it really going to take? I mean, listen, the Crossscreen Omnichannel objective is something everyone is chasing. How hard is that? There's a lot of data tied together, certainly a lot of identity to put together. You guys seem to be in a very good place to do that. You're obviously not the data scientists working behind the scenes making that happen, but as you guys think about...
Is that obvious?
Well... I guess I didn't mean it like that, but touche. But how do you think about how quickly or how long it's going to take for some of that to be wired together so that you can walk in front of an agency or marketer and say, we've got this stitched together? I mean,
it's here. It really is here. I know we're working with a lot of our agency partners, companies like Modi, that we're running these campaigns, and we're seeing success. So I think it's here today. It's just more about the adoption from the industry to understand and to look at this as as one campaign. I think one of the issues, frankly, we're seeing is that a lot of times the mobile budgets will be siloed separately than the TV budgets, and that you got to work with two different teams to get a deal done. And I think that but I think that's changing. I think as we start to look at this as more of a overall video neutral strategy, a lot of those silos are going to be broken down, and this type of opportunity is going to be part of every campaign. I think the cross-screen idea is a natural extension to what we're already doing in the addressable space. So I think it's only a matter of time until it's part of every campaign.
Right, makes sense. So what, maybe as a closing thought, what would you think about, what do you want the industry to know as not just about cross-screen, but addressable overall? As you think about, there's plenty of places that are now, as you said, gaining lots of traction. It's a growing product. It's a growing concept of it's a reality, as you say today. It's not just a concept. It is now. The market is transacting in a significant way in addressable television. Yet that still means many marketers that I know you would think are ripe for addressable TV aren't yet using it. What would be your message to that part of the community that's not yet trying addressable, and why they should think about it and how they should think about it?
Well, I think try it. I think that one of the beauty of this is, like I said, it's accountable, right? And I think a lot of the advertisers have, and I think it's changed, but I think that what you're seeing, the growth in the industry is built upon advertisers who have come in, tested, and then grown. I mean, we doubled the amount of campaigns that we ran from 2014 to 2015. We're on track to grow substantially this year. So I think what that's showing is that advertisers that have come in, they've seen success, and now they're not only coming back, but coming back running multiple campaigns. So I think that the advertisers that have not dipped their toe in the water yet, I think that it makes a lot of sense to try it and let the numbers speak for themselves. I mean, the gift and the curse of this, from our standpoint, is that it's going to show you if it's working. So and thankfully the numbers have been very positive up to this point.